As trainee carpenters and joiners, you will need to learn how to use the Tormek Waterbath Grinder located in the workshop. This short video will show you how to safely use this grinder to sharpen woodworking chisels and plane the blades. Before you can use the Tormek grinder, make sure your working area is clean and tidy with no obstructions. Also make sure that the power supply is isolated so that you are ready to set up the machine. Select the correct personal protective equipment for using this grinder. You will need safety goggles. The next step is to check if the water in the water container is at the correct level. If you need to, top up the water to the correct level, making sure enough water covers the bottom of the wheel. You are now ready to set up the horizontal guide. This can be set to 3 positions. First, it can be set to sharpen on the back of the wheel. You can also set the guide at the front of the wheel. For your assessment, the guide will be set at this position. The third position can be set up to use the honing wheel on the left. To sharpen a chisel at the correct angle, we will use the Tormek angle guide. The left indicator is set to the size of the grinding wheel. For this machine we are using, this is 250 mm in diameter. So the indicator will need to be moved to the 250 mm mark. The right guide is set to the grinding angle of the chisel, which is 25 degrees. So move the indicator to the 25-degree mark. When this is set, we can use it to set the chisel at the correct angle onto the grinder. Take the chisel holding jig and slide it onto the horizontal guide and push the chisel you want to sharpen onto the space in between the 2 metal parts with about 50 mm of the chisel sticking out. Make sure the chisel is right up against the left of the holder and slightly tighten the chisel into place. Next, tilt the chisel up until it rests onto the grinding wheel, then place the guide onto the grinding wheel and chisel. If you have the correct angle, the guide will be at the same angle as the chisel. If it is incorrect, undo the chisel and push into the correct position so that both angles match. You are now ready to use the grinder. Now everything is set, making sure you have the correct PP on, place the chisel onto the wheel and move from side to side, pressing down to ensure the cutting edge is ground at the correct angle. As you progress, check the angle has been ground evenly, and when completed, remove the chisel from the holding jig. Once the 25-degree grinding angle has been completed, the 30-degree honing angle or finish angle can be done. This is set up exactly the same way as the grinding angle, but now done at 30 degrees on the honing wheel on the left. To prepare the wheel, you will need to apply some honing compound. First, spray some lubricant onto the wheel. Secondly, apply some honing compound now onto the wheel using a cloth. Now you can grind the angle across the wheel, checking the angle to make sure the angle being ground is square. Once the angle has been ground, you can stop the wheel. Now that you have ground your chisel, make sure you put all the equipment back as you found it, making sure the machine is safely isolated.